Today we're talking about a lot of things. We've got parties, scams, and where to get the best and freshest meals you will ever eat. So welcome in. I'm Larissa Wall.
And I'm Laura Schweitzer, and we will also address an issue concerning parents and their kids. Very interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, some families are concerned that their children aren't developing their speech fast enough.
Yes, now they are called late talkers. And we have invited Kara over here from the Goddard School of Hendersonville and Gallatin to explain what parents can do to support their little ones. I know this is a huge issue going on right now. Part of it because of COVID. So talk a little bit about how that's affected speech development in children.
A large part due to COVID. We are still receiving the effects of COVID 4 years later. Because if you think about it, the children who are about to go to kindergarten in August were toddlers when COVID hit, and the world shut down, and they suddenly were used to being exposed to all this language, and then suddenly it was just talking to mom and dad, maybe a sibling, maybe another familiar adult, but their language exposure really decreased, and that was the pivotal time for them to develop not only that communication development, but also their social skills.
Well, and you said talking to mom and dad, but if mom and dad were working from home and they were busy on the computer or the phone, then the kids were with their iPads or iPhones or something or other.
Yes, trying to work from home, and then children are increased screen time, and the screens just don't replace the inflection that we hear in each other's voice, the body language, the expression that they needed to develop at that time.
So true. And even past COVID, like we said, screen time continues today. So Larissa and I were talking about this before show. Some parents out there seeing their kids physically acting out because they don't know how to verbally express themselves. Are you seeing that too?
Yes, absolutely. They're just frustrated because they don't know how to express themselves. They don't know what words to use, how to get their point across. We had a little girl say, I don't know how to make friends. And, 4-year-old. And we realized, oh my goodness, you were a toddler and you just missed that. You were shut down with the rest of the world. But we can fix it.
Wow.
We can help them.
Well, and I wonder, masks. I didn't think about this till we're talking right now.
Exactly.
So I'm throwing this at you. But, everybody was wearing masks. You weren't seeing the mouth movements. Do you think that played a role?
Right. We used the word smize at the time because we were covering everything and you were trying to express yourself with your eyes, but it just wasn't the same. And children, I knew, at the time I thought this is going to decrease language, but I didn't think about the social impacts and the behavioral impacts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's good news, everybody out there. If you're a parent, a grandparent, or you know somebody who is and are dealing with this, there are ways to help. So let's talk about the tips. You have a handful of tips. So we should start with the first one, which is, let me go to my notes, converse while reading. So talk about that.
Any educator will tell you, read, read, read. You cannot underestimate the power of a good book. You can't replace it with an iPad or a phone. We can listen to books as adults, but children need you to read to them. They need to feel a book. They need to hear you read a book. And you don't even have to read every word in the book. You can take a book that has maybe 50 words in it, a simple board book, and talk about the pictures and ask them about what they see in the pictures and ask them open-ended questions. Not just questions that require a 1 or 2 word answer, but a question that requires them to maybe give you a sentence and think through their language and tell you a little bit more. So something like, tell me what you think they're doing, or tell me what you think is going to happen.
Open-ended questions.
I like that.
Yes, very good. Very
it's something about finger play. Finger play and dancing.
And it doesn't have to be fancy. Finger plays don't have to be fancy. You don't have to be an early childhood educator. We all know the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yeah.
You can sing your favorite song. That's part of communication. There's lots of words and songs, and we can sing any songs with children. Dance with them. Make it fun. Repetition. The same songs, the same books over and over. Children love, if they memorize a book, they can read a book. They love that. They feel so confident, and we want to produce confident learners so that they'll be successful in life.
I love how you say at the end of that tips, when you're talking, speak face to face. Why is that so important?
Well, eye contact, and we need to do that. We need to decrease screen time at home. I'm guilty too. We all are. We have to be connected, but we need to decrease it at home and put down our phones and not talk to them like this. We need to talk to our children and make sure that they see that this is important, communication is important, and help them develop those skills to have those conversations.
It's interesting because Emma is 9 months now, and I've noticed how quickly she gravitates towards my phone or the television remote that we use. Now, I'll give her a fake one. She doesn't want that. She wants what we have. which scares me because she is seeing me or Daniel on the phone. And that to her is, oh, that's something important.
Right.
So I have to get better at that. Now, I do want to ask, how does somebody know if their child is a late talker or is just maybe a little slower than others?
Right. So thankfully, if they're at a school like our Goddard School, we have the resources. Our teachers have tools and they do assessments, and we can share that with parents. We'll sit down with you. Your teachers will sit down with Emma and say, you know, here's how her language is progressing and everything. They'll talk about her whole development. But if you're not in an environment like that, there are great agencies out there. We do referrals for speech therapists all the time to help them. And typically they'll do a free or very, very low cost assessment for a child to see if they even need intervention.
Oh, amazing.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
and speaking of, okay, so let's say someone's out there and they're looking to enroll their child at Goddard or any other school out there. What sort of questions should these parents be asking the school ahead of time?
Well, ask about the training and the education of the teachers, how long they've been there, what kind of ongoing training they have, because like the scenario we're talking about post-COVID required ongoing training. I have teachers that have been teaching preschool for 30 years and suddenly they were like, I don't know what to do. These behaviors, this language, and we just called in resources, grabbed experts from our Goddard team and, you know, honed in on what can we do to make it better for these children and help them.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
welcome.
It's a lot. It's overwhelming. So I appreciate
We're here for you. We're here for you, really.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, everybody, set your child up for success. Check out GoddardSchool.com for a list of all their programs and all their locations.